I am Masters EUist, yeah. My
Nice.
summoner name is the same as like my name's the same on everything. Everything's the British Paro. It's not
Okay.
taken anywhere, so I have it on Discord, I have it on YouTube, I have it on League.
Nice.
So yeah.
So the British Pro everywhere. And so we'll get that up. I'll put the link in the description below as
Yep.
well. So,
So
what's the easiest way? What do you want to do? Do you want me to screen share?
yeah, actually no, I've got your YouTube stream up, which is probably going to be a lot better quality than the Discord stream. That's something that I've had an issue with the past couple of times.
Okay.
So if you just go to like open like the loot tab or something, and then I can see what the delay is.
Loot. I'm gonna click it in now. One, two, three,
Okay, there's like a
four.
3 second delay, so it's fine for me to
Oh,
watch.
that's not bad.
Yeah,
That's not
I'll
bad.
just watch your stream on YouTube. Um,
The My one concern about that is one of the things that I'm worst at is trading windows
okay.
and specifically executing them. So I'm fairly old and I'm a tired, stressed out dad. So my biggest weakness in top lane in particular is letting them hit me without me hitting them back. Right. And just like the minutia of they're in range, I can
So
get a hit off,
spacing,
they
yeah,
can't.
spacing.
Yeah. So I'm confident with the spacing. I'm not confident with the execution of the actual like, okay, I can get a hit in right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
that window is a little bit hard to see on a 3 second delay. Um, is it? Do you want to try on Discord
No,
or do you
I
think it would just
normally what I do is I use the live section as a time to sort of watch you, and if like you were sort of commenting over your own game while you were streaming your practice game, and that's really good for me because while I'm watching your live game, it gives me insight into what's going through your head, which is
okay?
a lot better than just watching like a raw VOD review, you know? Because like if you
Okay,
actually get the idea about why someone's doing something, you can learn a lot more from that.
yeah. So
And
maybe
then
I should have recorded that too then. But
yeah, maybe. And then in the VOD review, then it's sort of my time to take over and I can start because I'll just have a better understanding of everything that's going on.
okay. So yeah, you basically saw what I was thinking most of the time. The majority of what I was trying to do was just kind of limit test, not limit test, but mechanically limit press so that I could be at as high a level as possible for this. But as far as like strategy things, you saw what I was thinking, trying to get bot lane ahead more than anybody. Um, and I kind of left Kale alone, which I don't mind doing, but I could also have just squeezed on Kale and been like 5-0 with a 50 CS lead as well,
Yeah.
and pressed that way, which is if I'm investing in myself, probably the best thing uh, compared to trusting my teammates. They may not know what to do with that lead. And me as a player, and since I coach, I get frustrated when people don't do the things that I expect them to
Oh,
do.
me too. That's like 90% of top lane. It's like being a
Yeah.
zookeeper sometimes. It's crazy. Um,
So that's the biggest thing that I contend with. So the easiest thing for me when I'm really competing is just turn off chat.
yeah. On the note of being a zookeeper, I want to give you a little quick shout out for my viewers, real quick. So, this is your channel, GIGA Gaming Academy, if anyone wants to check it out. But I was having a watch over earlier, and I watched this video, controlling your emotions under stress, talking about the blue responses and red responses. And I think this kind of video is something that like I don't have anything like that on my channel, so this would be really good for everyone to go and watch. It's basically like controlling your mental state and making sure you remain focused, giving yourself mentally rather than just gameplay wise the best chance to win. I think that's actually really important in solo queue. That's a huge part of the game. So definitely be worth checking that out.
All right, thanks for the shout out.
Um right, if you wanna queue up and we can talk, are you gonna be playing Kled again?
Yeah, I figure I'll do Kled. Do you want to do one or two games or what's
Um
best?
we'll do one, see how long it takes, and then maybe we can do another one. I'm open to
Okay,
doing multiple. Um so while we queue, let's talk about like runes and itemization and stuff for
sure.
Kled. Um so your build looked very fun last game, but I don't think it's optimal. But fun things are fun, so
Hmm.
I think Kled is one of the champions that can really abuse Hydra Rush, which I think is really powerful in top lane right now. It gives you so many options in regards to proxying, stealing away jungle camps. Like a lot of the time, if you're crashing a wave and you're looking to be proactive, which you were doing really well, whenever you crashed a wave, you were looking to be proactive. sometimes, especially as you get higher in elo, there's not going to be windows for you to make anything happen on the enemy players. And in that case, the most impactful role in the game is jungle. So if you steal away a jungle camp, you're doing something really big with your roam window, even though you didn't kill anyone. And Hydra enables that really hard because you can also proxy and get double the roam window as well. I think
Okay.
Hydra Rush is really, really good. And then it seems like everyone's going either Eclipse for damage or Stridebreaker for Bruiser.
Yeah, I would imagine that Stridebreaker is my favored position, and then third item would either be Hullbreaker or Black Cleaver.
Yep.
And kind of depending on whether or not I'm matching and beating their side lane, or if they have like a tank that's kind of just ignoring me. The issue with Black Cleaver versus tank compared to Hullbreaker that I find is Hullbreaker is really good against tanks. They can't clear cannons when you buy Hullbreaker, and so part of me wants to have that and kind of just really press that advantage. But I know that if I don't really exacerbate the lead, then I will get outscaled. And I feel like my impact in the game team fighting is higher than it is in my side lane going 1v1.
Okay, I mean, Cleaver is all around going to be the best option, but sometimes you're going to want a side lane more than other games, and then I think Hullbreaker's fine. Yeah,
Got you.
as for runes, I think the lethal tempo versus Conqueror discussion is pretty interesting. I think lethal tempo is good in the matchups where things like Riven, who else is there? Maybe like Aurelia. These champs can burst you when you're mini, and lethal tempo helps you get back onto your mount. But otherwise, I think Conqueror is just going to do more damage.
Okay.
Kled has really good AD ratios, so gaining AD is really good for him. And then summoner spell wise, like you're against Kale in the first game, I think you can either just go Ignite or Flash there. Both of them give you really good kill pressure onto Kale. You don't really need Exhaust, but Exhaust is really good in the same places that Tempo is good, like against Riven, against Aurelia, against well, not so much Garen because it's true damage, but yeah, the concept of like I need to get back on my mount before they kill me when they're trying to burst me, whereas Kale can't really burst you, so.
Yeah, the main, I mean, I want to get Exhaust because I want to get better at using Exhaust as well. That was a large reason of playing it there, but I am flexible. But kind of like the tree with Gwen, it took a year of evolution, but eventually people settled on like Teleport Exhaust is basically just better than Teleport Ignite. And there were very few situations where the opposite was true.
Yeah.
And also like I already have heal cut in the kit on the Q on the bear trap. And that sometimes plays into it, but are there times that you want me to go Ignite no matter what, or
It's just when you have really good kill pressure in lane. Otherwise, I think Exhaust if you need it. Flash and maybe Ghost sometimes. I've never seen Ghost on Kled, so probably not. But Flash is really good because you can. I don't know if you know, but you can E Flash and you can also Q Flash. So if you're trying to close the gap onto a range champion, you can E Flash onto them and it will move the E and it will hit them at extended range. Renekton can burst you in mini, so this might be a good Exhaust matchup. And then secondary runes, what would you think in this matchup? What's your plan?
So he's going to go for trade patterns that involve the stun and the all-in. So I would look a lot of times to do something like this, especially since there's a lot of forms of CC.
That looks perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I would
Last
consider
Stand
health.
is always good on Kled.
What's up?
I think Last Stand is always really good on Kled.
It definitely is. Yeah. Okay.
And then
any reason to go health because we've got the other people in my lane would be all magic.
I think either is fine.
Okay. So I think I'm going to be stronger than him 1 through 5. Definitely level 1. I'm trying to exacerbate this issue. Now he's got Ignite, but he doesn't really have any continuation, right? All he can do is really stun me. So I'm going to try to press on him there. And am I stronger at 2 and 3, or do I need to back off?
You should be able to win pretty much any all-in as long as you use your Exhaust when you're mini, but you've got to think about the jungler whenever you're playing against Renekton.
Yeah.
So do you have a plan for what you want to do with first 3 waves? Or first 4 waves, I think is...
The plan against Renekton is going to be stack up a wave advantage so that I have I have a building wave in the levels where I'm strongest, and then I'm going to crash and try to gank Eve after 3 waves at her red.
Okay. So if that's the plan, I mean, even if it's not the plan, but especially if that's the plan, you need to be making sure that you're tracking who's leashing, where Eve is, like, figure out where Eve is starting, right? Because she might not be at
Yeah.
her red at that point, and you'll just waste time.
Yes.
Okay.
Should I recall or just
Yeah, you
stick
should
around with?
base.
Okay.
I think the cutoff is normally around 110, where you can still.
Yeah. The issue that I would have leaving that late is I'm losing out my window against Renekton. Like right now, even now, he's going to be able to build up his
I
rage
think because you're
before
faster than minions, you should get back at roughly the same time.
Okay.
Like minions have like what 325 speed, something like that, and you have
Yeah,
345.
they screwed with it. So the first wave is still 325, but it's the next waves that are
Yeah, it speeds up.
like 400 now. But he doesn't know necessarily that I'm not here. So I'm just going to go for 2 autos early and take this if I have it. So I'm kind of trying to exist in this level right here where I hit him. Actually missed my Q pullback. He hit 2. I didn't track that. Yikes, that was too close for me. I let him get the level 2 advantage.
One thing you can think about in this matchup as well is that you're running teleport and he's not.
Mm-hmm.
So there, what you could have done, you could either wait for the wave, but then you might get dove if Eve is for some reason in topside jungle, or you could just base TP and have a huge HP advantage and try not to let him crash the wave. Because then he's really screwed.
So you think that was the play then? Sounds like.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I would have done. After the play would be to not take the bad trade, but then the optimal play changes after that happens. Okay, so what's your thought process right now? Because to me, this is a bit of a tricky situation.
Yeah, it's going to be pushing out, which is a problem, but I
Mhm.
am going to have the level advantage because he left out. So I can try to all in him right now. I've got the refillable, but he's going to have like 700 gold, so he may have double longsword.
Mhm.
So I want to use the wave to protect myself by having a bigger wave, but I also don't want to give him any amount of free space right here. He's going to be about a half wave away from level 4, I think.
Okay. What do we need to think about whenever we're planning on going for an all-in? It's like a really big
Where's
factor.
the jungler?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so,
Now you've got Akshan in her top side. Oh, you see her actually.
all right, so this ward, if I warded right now, it wouldn't really do much because she's on bot side, so I know I've got this inferred vision anyways.
Good.
It's a mistake. He gets the Q off with the wave, and he gets to hit me with my bone plating. I tried to buffer my E, said I was traveling, doing something while he stunned me. I'm pulling out too early. All right, so now I think I have to play back and just give him everything. I didn't check, but he has pickaxe. I don't feel like I need to ward right now because she's going to be so far away. If I ward, it's going to be to protect my turret from a dive. I'm going to save refillable until he starts going for a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. So what we're seeing right now is something that happens fairly often in top lane in somewhat even matchups. Like no one has a definitive power advantage. So generally, whoever has the wave is going to be stronger because minions hit really hard early, and it ends up
Yep.
in like this ebb and flow state where it's like now he has control, but then it's going to start bouncing back into you, and you're going to have it, and then
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to be really strong coming out of this.
Mhm.
Now I'm going to use this. I'm going to slow stack this. This will give me level 6, which will let me go gank bottom if I want to make this window happen, like last game. And I really don't want to be in the lane against him because he has a combat ult and I don't. So I want to go express this in bot lane as much as possible. If my cannon dies, great. So I'm going to wait till the last possible moment to get these last hits. And then I'm going to look to crash this wave and then get ready for a gank bottom. Maybe I missed my window. Maybe I should have pushed forward harder. I'm going to remount. Rip.
That's a tragedy. All right, let's see how we can recover from here.
I also don't have ultimate for the fight. I think I may have overlapped my spells. Now, would you recommend like swapping to like plated steel caps right away, or like I don't intend on buying plated steel caps because the rest of the team is so
I
Merc
think
tread.
you want Merc Treads this game, yeah.
Yeah. Would you ever suggest going to fix a bad matchup?
Yeah, you can.
I want to. Oh, it's too bad they didn't help me to push here.
That's okay. He's not running teleport, and you have Tiamat.
Yep.
The one thing I would consider doing here, we have no info on Eve. But oh wait, we see Eve bot. So what you can do is
Here we
push this in, and then Renekton's dead for 5 seconds, so you might be able to proxy
go. Okay.
because he has to walk back to lane. Like you can just kill
Okay.
this next wave as well, and then probably just recall and get maybe a cloth armor or something, or maybe you could go longsword if you want to try and still fight for stuff. But you know that no one can stop you taking this wave because Renekton's in base with no TP and Eve's bot, and then
Now he's way ahead in combat, so I definitely want to get out of this lane as much as possible. Should I hold on to this since he's pushing it?
yeah, you wait now. You wait. Get the wave. You don't base. You have teleport coming up, so we can either like the two options that you have. Normally, your teleport's going to be used for making cross-map plays, and you're going to be playing against another teleport. But in this case, he's not running teleport, so you can look to. I think if you base, he's going to deny you waves, so you have to stay now.
You want me to stay here now?
Yeah.
Oh, he's not
denying.
I really want to make this play down in bottom where these guys are 5. My
Mhm.
team's about to hit 6. I feel like I've missed out on the opportunity. I think he's doing me a favor by just crashing these waves in.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to save my teleport for coming back, and I want to gank bot.
Nice. I like that idea.
Any reason to go Lucid Boots here?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, looks like they made the play for themselves, so we'll just come back.
Yeah.
Now I want to shove and try to ult mid or something like this. Oh, can't shove.
You should have item advantage now, right? Because he hasn't
Not really.
based. I think
He's
you want to
still
push
stronger.
this regardless of whether he's here. Because if he's based, like you just missed half a wave for that base. So if he's based in response to spend his gold, you want to make him miss a wave as well. You don't want to give
Should I
him a
proxy
free
now?
base.
It's
No,
dangerous with Eve
it's
nearby, right?
yeah. You don't see Eve, and also he could already be on the way. So you can look to hover
Gotcha.
mid, maybe ult mid here. On these, it's good that you're looking to be proactive on these crashes, because that's one of the most commonly lacking things from top laners is they'll just crash a wave and do nothing instead of looking to be proactive. I think that was my biggest downfall for a while. Does it get her? It does.
So now I feel like he's gonna be stuck in a tough spot now where the lane's super long, but is he gonna be like unleashed to be super powerful either?
He's got 5 plates. He's gonna be a monster.
Yeah. Should I crash this and let Akshan take care of it?
Yeah, if you want to stay mid, you can stay mid and let Akshan go. Or he can not go. Works too.
Cooldowns are back up. If I were a little bit closer, I wouldn't mind taking that fight, but like Conqueror, Gore Drinker being down, and Conqueror being up, but Gore Drinker being down would be where I would kind of be weighing that. I'm tempting. She's got no ult, so I can do this right away. I'm using exhaust so I can land my Q. Now we can shove this for more plates. I think Akshan has a better matchup into Renekton right now, so I'm fine leaving him there. Is that true, or is he just like going to get all in?
I think it's easier for him to play than it is for you, yeah. He can just E away. Renekton can't really stop it.
Ooh. Shot I did not see. All right, Renekton's trying to come in, so we're going to leave. Shit, I hate when I get the wrong ping. I'm just going to go push mid again. Akshan's going to get plates. They're going to get dragon. Hopefully I can get this mid wave and a plate in exchange for this dragon. I just don't want anybody to go here.
Yeah, that's really good. Your game sense is actually really good. A lot of people will just try to flip this fight and try and fight the Drake, but you're going to lose it. So trading is so much better.
Maybe we can dive the Ahri. Ahri's ultimate should be back up. Kind of. She doesn't want to do it. Okay. He wants me to hold mid. That's fine. Can we all in the Renekton? If we get 4 people here, we could do it. Oh, I don't like what Siobhan is doing. Ult for wave. I can't do it because if he starts the fight with me while I'm under turret, then I'll be okay. Oh, no. I wanted my team to be here. They are not. So I know Siobhan is going to be in a lot of trouble. Was I just better off potentially just starting to go help? I don't think so. I would never really want to do that.
I think the problem comes before that. We'll go over it in review, but the biggest consistent trend that I'm seeing is that your proactivity is good, but your setup is not. Your setup doesn't put you in a position where you can do it without getting punished, and then Renekton's just getting stuff for free every time you try to be proactive.
Got you. So largely, like the proxying would be one of those case.
That's a way that you can get yourself a bigger timer. Yeah, you can also.
Got you.
I mean, the main thing, like the mid one, is that you roamed on a neutral wave and then you didn't come back.
Yeah.
So you can just crash it into the turret and.
Yeah, I felt like we could have killed the Ahri and that would have been worth, but my big issue. So I trust my game sense, but in game things are happening at a faster speed.
Yeah, there's a lot more to keep track of.
And my eyes don't like to keep track of things at real time. This is Ahri. I kind of want to dive this for them, just grab aggro. Let him hook. Just taking the target I can get. Maybe could have gone more aggressive there. I wanted.
Okay, so I think definitely the main thing we'll go over in review is setups for roams and then how to identify how long your roam timer is.
Okay.
And because the the basis of like the Hydra top lane playstyle that like Riven's playing it, Fiora's playing it, Kled is playing it, like all these champs are playing Hydra, is that you can be impactful around the map, like you get good roam timers, but you also keep up on economy. So a lot of the time you'll see like Kled's running around ganking everyone, but they're also like 9 CS per minute. So we need to get that balance between those two things so that you're individually strong, but you're also impacting the map. I think right now you're sort of leaning too far towards impacting the map, which is probably easier to fix because most people don't want to leave the top lane island. But you've already got that mentality, which is good, and like the way you're looking for things, like you have an eye for making plays, which is harder to build than just saying like, "Oh, just go and get this extra wave." Like it's a lot easier to fix. So.
She's bigger than I would want her to be. Okay, that makes sense. So specifically for this, we'll call it just tactic. Really trying to press hard, like lean on them before leaving. If I'm going to use like a sports analogy, I need to box them out before I go for the rebound.
Yeah, that makes
You're
sense.
familiar with basketball, so okay.
I don't watch basketball, but it makes sense. I play League of
Okay.
Legends, and it made sense to me. So
I'd like to teleport behind them if I had a rune right here. I would feel good about an all in. This guy's gonna bait. He's ulting, so I'm gonna go in, assuming he can keep this alive because he's got Hydra. A little bit of a reach. Gonna keep going. I think the best way is out, or best way out is through. I mean, that guy's dead, so we'll just leave that. Can't go down in the river, so I can go this way. Try to go through mid. They have a ward here, so they'll know that I'm coming behind the turret. I could try to set up a bush, but I'd rather just help to get this turret and keep going left. My team's going here, which makes me think that I want to like support them somewhat, but like again, this is a losing play. Should I go anyways? I feel like
no,
we're next
with your Swain dead, there's no way you're getting it. I think you just trade other things.
Yeah, I'm
like
gonna take the maximum
or...
out of their jungle.
Yep. You already got mid tier 1. I think you could push mid wave as well. That'd be a good use of your time there.
Would it if I had decided
Akshan would push it, but when you see him not push it, then my instinct was, oh, I'll push this mid wave.
Got you. Yeah, that was my thought process exactly. Now that I see him not going, is it worth coming back and doubling back, or like I'm pretty happy with this result?
Like, this is good too. Like whichever one you did, committing to it is better than like running back and forth trying to do both.
Got you. Now my team actually won this fight, so I'm gonna look to ult in to close the door on anyone who's trying to swing this fight. Normally I would call for Baron here instead of Dragon. Kind of want to get this kill on Blitzcrank because it will be It'll result in a delayed death timer for the Baron. If I had a ward, I'd leave it right here. So top lane's going to come back to me. So this is going to rebound. The only problem, Jin's also bot, which I don't like. We do have a slow push coming here. I'd like to pick up this red buff or give it to Jin. Both are completely fine. As far as like setting up for Baron, one of the things that I find myself doing, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this to make sure my team has the resources it needs to cover the pit. But I find myself having an instinctual idea of when Baron's available, but a very tough time conveying that to my teammates.
Okay.
And so then I lose a lot of time trying to make that happen.
Okay. So what summoner spells is your action running right now? Are you playing Ignite Flash?
Flash Ignite, yeah.
Okay. So given that Dragon is down and Baron is up, and you are the only player in the game with any form of global right now, with Kled, I'll let you make this play. But the concept is, like, where's the best place for you to be on the map?
Enough out that play. Very happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
We have Blitzcrank dead as well. If there's any juicy fruits, then I would want to take it. All right, so what was the question again?
Yeah, so Akshan's running Flash Ignite. Your TP is down, but you have Kled, so you're the only player in the game with a global. Drake is dead, Baron's alive. So when you reset, like, where's the most efficient place on the map for you to go from base?
Oh, easily bottom.
Yeah, for
easily
sure,
bottom.
for sure.
I don't have this timer though.
Okay. I mean, maybe Ari matches you, but right now your team is like, there was 3 waves in bot lane there that went bot, and no one on your team collected them. So collectively as a team, you just lost 180, 360, 540 gold, something like that.
Yeah, we also missed up on mid. Like, so right there, if I had a 5 stack, I'd want my team to go Baron 100% there. Thoughts?
After you killed Renekton?
After he killed Renekton, Ari, Blitzcrank was dead.
The problem you had is that Shyvana was 2 HP. I think that might
but
have
there
made
was
it
a juicy fruit.
Oh, if she eats the fruit, then yeah, I guess that'd be good.
The other thing that I overvalue in my own games is the Baron itself. If the more that players don't know about Baron, the less likely they are to make a good play with Baron as well. So even if we get it, if I convince them to get it, it's still like pulling teeth. I'm gonna Kled here so that we can get behind the Renekton. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, I probably shouldn't miss that. See Renekton. Kind of want to remount on this guy. Nope, not like that. Peeling for Jin now. I think I'm just going to die here. Just accept that. I didn't see that Jin was coming up here and he was going to get forked by the Renekton. Otherwise, I would have liked to ultimate over here and just isolate the Renekton by himself, let this play happen, and then try to get like a 3v1 here. What ended up happening, we ended up with the Renekton between us. Maybe I could have just turned around and just started going straight for Renekton, because Jin actually has a pretty good kit against him for kiting him. As long as there's no minion wave nearby, you should be able to avoid it. That's where my head's at.
Okay. The difference between that and the last one, obviously the fight didn't go really well, but the wave is now coming to you. And so instead of like being in a position where your team is losing minions, eventually they're going to be losing minions because this wave's coming to you. Also, yeah, Jin should not be going top here. You should no. I think pings are really important, but typing is really bad. So here I would ping Jin and I would ping Dragon, and if he doesn't understand what that means, then it's hopeless.
Yeah. I mean, even going to the pit right now would be kind of tough because of all the money in their inventory. Like, I feel like we're going to lose this fight anyways. Not that it might not be our best chance, but like it's Misfortune, Blitzcrank, Renekton. like I feel like we have a good chance of scaling this, especially with Swain when
Yeah.
he actually gets tanky.
The difference is, like, you in top lane, you put a lot more pressure on these turrets than Jin does, and also
Oh yeah.
if something does start happening where it looks winnable, you can actually respond. Whereas if it was reversed and Jin was pressuring this turret and something looks winnable, he has no
Oh yeah,
response.
and then he's kind of just hinting, right?
Yeah.
Like they're just gonna kill him for free whenever they decide to go up there.
Well, while you're taking the turret, right, there's no like mechanical intensity to hitting a turret, so you can right click the turret and then you can look at what's going on with your team. Yeah.
Yep.
And then
Fair.
you see Renekton on the map, so yeah, good. You move your camera back, you don't want to be like AFK against the Renekton, he's gonna kill you.
Yeah. Oh, someone's here.
I think you can maybe just Kled down the lane, yeah. Good.
Oh, that's my own Swain. I ran from it. I didn't need to. I feel like Akshan could have been ripping into that guy.
Yeah, the mistake from you there is that you were too hasty with your exhaust. If you saved it for when he dismounted you, you could have got back on.
Just getting back on. Okay.
That's why we take the exhaust on Kled, it's really handy.
So you want me to keep it less for like the beginning of the fight and more just for strictly remounting?
Yeah, the only time I would exhaust at the beginning of the fight is if it's like, let's say Evelyn's jumping on Jin, then your exhaust is going to be really good. But if she's on you, she can't one-shot you through Kled
Right.
passive anyway.
Gotcha.
She could do 3 million damage, it would still just dismount you. It wouldn't kill you.
Right. Right.
So yeah, we'll look at, for this game, we'll look at the laning phase and like the 1v1 in lane, and then we'll look at going into the mid game, we'll look at how to set up better roam timers for yourself and lose less from your roams. Because it's not like Renekton killed you 1,000 times this game. He just kept getting like a plate here, a wave here, a plate here, a wave here, and then he's a monster.
Yeah, got you. Okay. Yeah, that's largely stemming from my desire to help everybody.
Yeah, which is a good mindset. It's a better mindset than never wanting to help anybody, but we just need to dial it back a little bit.
Okay. So how do I go about practicing that besides like, I could go into practice tool and practice, 3-wave crashes plus, proxies and like look for windows and things like this, but
I'll just show you examples of like where you can do things in the VOD review, and then the more games you play, the more times you look for these things, it starts to become very natural.
okay, I should have waited to get a little bit closer before I cast Assault. I think that she was doing the same misplay that Jin was doing. Being off in the side lane just makes her a target.
Yeah. Okay, do you know how to send replay files?
No.
Okay. If you go into your highlights in your client, there's a button that basically takes you straight there. I'll get you my Google Drive so that you can drop it into my folder, and then I can...
Okay, so sorry.
Yeah, if you go into the highlights section of your client.
Okay. Highlights. You can see that I've never been here.
Okay. Oh, you
Okay.
actually don't have any, so there's no button there. Okay, another way to do it, if you open the settings for your League client, somewhere in there, in replays, there you go. There's a replays thing, and it'll give you a file path to replays location.
Got you. All right, so I'll just copy that into...
And if you go there, and if you download the replay and then sort by date modified so that you get, you've got the most recent one.
Okay.
And if you just drop that into, I'm sending you on Discord my Google Drive, and then I can download that and I can open your replay in my client.
Okay, so let's see. I go by date modified, so I find the newest one. Okay.
Did you
All right,
download?
so
Did you download the replay?
I didn't. Well, it's auto downloaded.
Oh, is it?
I assume so. I mean, I've got the file right here, so this is what I'm looking at. Sorry, it went. This is where I'm at. So I just found it by following the path.
Yeah, so that's from 6/27, the date. So you'll need to
Oh,
download the new one. So if you go to your match history,
okay, yeah.
there's a little button on your match history to download it.
That's interesting. So I physically. Oh, this is all the ones that I have downloaded in the past then,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I do download replays a lot to do reviews after games. Okay, that makes sense because this is very sparse. A couple a day
yeah.
as opposed to
So there
like
should
six.
now be a new one if you back out and go back in or something.
Yep. Okay. So you want this file?
Yeah, if you just drop that in my Google Drive, then I'll download it and I'll open it up on my end.
All right. Can I? I'm also going to put it in the student space here because that's where we're going out over, right?
Yep. Right, replays. Why do I have two of them? Just delete these. Right, match history. Or customs. Use an actual.
Okay. I tried to link you, but it did the at t dot dot dot. I don't know if that's a thing because your username's obfuscated, or I don't know. Did
Yeah,
you
I
get
think
the link?
it'll because you're in streamer mode, I think.
Oh, streamer mode. Okay, got you.
Yeah, I got it.
So do you see it
Oh,
in
I
student
don't
space?
have permission to view the message history of student space.
Oh, that's weird. That should be open to everybody. Uh,
Okay, I sent you the link to my Google Drive in DMs, so you can just drop it in that folder.
okay. Read message history. It says everyone can have it.
Definitely says I don't have permission. Maybe I missed a roll or something?
Oh, probably.
Oh,
Did
there we
you
go. There we go.
did you do the start here roll? Okay.
Yeah, I got a roll now. Where is student space? Okay, now
It's
I can
in
see it, but I can't see. Maybe I couldn't see anything that was sent before I joined.
Well, I'm not sure. I'm looking at it right now. Permissions. Let me see what everyone can do.
Try and send it again in student space, because I can see the channel now. I just can't. Yeah, I can see you typing now. All right, cool. I got that.
You got it?
Yep. Thank
All
you.
right, brilliant.
We go here. Properties. Grab the name of this.
What should I do for opening it? Is it just double click or do I need to do
I'm
like a property?
gonna stream it on Discord, so you can just
Oh,
watch my
okay.
screen share. You're replaying here, and then yours to mine. Okay, right. Share screen. You see that?
I see it. Yep.
Cool. So this should now open up your game. Nice.
It's a little bit choppy. So this is what you're talking about before that Discord stream kind of gets choppy on you.
Yeah, it can be a little awkward.
Okay.
How's it doing right now?
It's it's not rubber banding, but it's pixelated.
Okay. Can you tell what's going on?
I can tell what's going on. Yeah.
All right, good. It'll be good on my recording at least.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this trade's actually really good. You I don't know if you did this intentionally, but you waited with your auto attack until his bone plane dropped off, so you got a bit more damage. And now you can be thinking here that you can get level 2 because you have a slight lead on the push. So here I would be hitting the minions, like especially this melee one. It's the melees you need to get level 2. Because the melees give more XP than the ranged.
Yeah. The first melee of the second wave is level 2.
Yeah, so now if you kill this range minion, you won't get 2, but if you go down and kill this melee minion, you will. So you need to go and kill this. Because he's killing 2 melees here. So off this one and this one, he's going to get level 2.
Got you.
So you can
I
either
feel like I
back
left.
off and concede level 2, or you can play for it. But staying up at level 1 is going to get you traded on really hard.
Yeah. So I will definitely say this is something I'm normally conscious of, but while trying to do this in while conversing with you, it skipped my mind. But this, if I see it right, there's 4 casters alive. I still need to get one of the casters, right?
No, because the melees give more.
So even so,
You
4
can get
melee.
level 2 off 6 minions. Yeah,
Oh, okay. All
as
right.
long as 4 of them are melee, you'll still get level 2.
Okay. All
So
right. Good. I
you
did
see
not know
here
that.
your XP.
Yeah.
That's enough that a melee will get you level 2. You see
Okay.
the caster dies, and you're like right on the edge of level 2.
Right. Yep.
But if it was a melee, you would have. So
Got you.
that's the reason that this goes so badly. It's not really a mechanical issue. It's just the level 2 timing. So here was where this wave isn't gonna crash, right? This one's gonna
Yeah.
block it.
Teleport and
Yeah,
come back with
but
an HP lead.
whenever you're playing TP into Ignite, like
Yeah.
he's actually really fucked here if you do that. Like,
So yeah, I mean, I've bossed it without dying,
yeah,
right? Like
pretty
we
much,
got
yeah.
a big chunk without, and we were able to survive. Now, what about like trying to all in and get the remount here on the W?
I think
Like
it's
it's
unnecessarily risky.
unnecessarily
Like he
risky.
has
Okay,
flash, so as you step up, he could just flash W you and kill you.
and that's what he ended up doing. He did a W flash to get the instant auto,
Yeah,
and then the Q for the kill.
yeah. So here, if you'd based and TP'd, now he's got to like he's really low, so he wants to base, but he's got to try and crash a cannon wave into a full HP Kled
Yeah,
on 250 health.
100%. This is one. I can see it. It's spot on. Like it's so apparent that this was a missed opportunity. On top of just the trade pattern, that one seems like a free get out of jail or a get out of jail free card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's something that you can do intentionally as well. I'll do this a lot when I play Nasus into like Darius runs Flash Ghost a lot. So I'll take like a heavy trade that I know I'm not going to die to, and he'll do like 80% of my health, and I'll do maybe 40% of his, but then I'll TP back, and then I have a massive health lead.
Gotcha. And you just play for that. So what if you're the Renekton in this seat or you're the Darius, what are you doing to
In right
counteract that
now,
strategy?
or
Yeah, so if we go back to
go
the
back.
moment I survived the all in,
Yep.
I would normally ask my jungler to help push, or in a coordinated game, I would ask my jungler to help me push this in and crash it and kind of cover me so that I could get a better recall off. But that is a tax on the junglers. That's not something that happens in solo queue. As a solo queue game, as Renekton right here, I guess he did what was right, which is punish my mistake.
I think he's just screwed himself. I think he has to base. Or like he can
Yeah,
stay if you stay, but if he sees you base, he has to base and just accept that he's gonna miss some minions because the wave's in a bad spot. Because
yeah,
otherwise you're just gonna kill him when you come back at full health, full mana. Oh, well, you don't have
got you.
mana, but full
So
health mounted.
So this is if I played this correctly, this is a completely effed position for Renekton.
Yeah, this is a really bad position for Renekton. If
So he shouldn't have even taken the all in. Is that what it comes down to?
pretty much, and the reason it doesn't work is because you have exhaust. But like when you're playing Flash Ignite or Flash Ghost or like these things, you have to be really mindful when you're going for all ins of is the wave gonna crash so that I can base? If not,
Right.
am I definitely gonna kill them? Because otherwise this can happen and you get TP'd back on and it's really hard.
Would you say that if this happened next wave, so a cannon wave was dying as opposed to instead of arriving, it would be okay because the next wave arriving would be a
Uh
simple wave and you'd
yeah,
be able to get
it's definitely better because if it was next wave, he would be level 3 and you would be level 2, which makes it a lot better. And also the wave's easier to push, and he's gonna have a cannon of his own to help him push. And you're probably not gonna be as likely to fight him inside a cannon wave because those things hurt at level 2.
it.
So I think next wave it would be okay. But yeah,
So
it's tricky for Renekton though.
so should I be looking, that being the case, exhaust or teleport versus not teleport? Should I be forcing the issue? I mean, you said that you basically do it, that you look for a 40 to 80 trade,
If you ever know
and
that
then
you can take a winning trade,
Mhm.
or not a winning trade, if you ever know that you can take a trade that he wins but doesn't kill you, you can do this on purpose. It's even better if you do it on purpose as you get an item. So if you did it with 350 gold and you TP back with a longsword as well, then it's even better.
Yes.
But yeah, you can definitely do this on purpose into Ignite lanes. I think it's like one of the best ways that you can win TP into Ignite.
So if that is my plan, should I have come with longsword refillable instead and just like take that as a net advantage, or is Dorn's Blade important for staying alive in the fight?
I think in general, longsword refill is really good, but against Renekton, the extra health is really nice. So I would go Doran's Blade into Renekton, but in a lot of matchups, I would go longsword refill on Kled.
Okay.
Because the best thing about longsword refill, as well as the extra value of the reset, the best thing is that you get Hydra faster, so you start doing your
Yes.
roaming stuff quicker.
Got you. Yeah, it's not going to impact the Tiamat, but it will hit the Hydra.
Yep.
Um, I kind of battle with that a lot of times because the 80 HP that you miss out on, and just like the generic combat stats of Dorn's Blade, help you to win more trades, ergo help you to get your items faster. But it's just like 350 gold. I mean, I guess we're calling it 170 gold, the 180 that you would get from selling Dorn's Blade. That 170 is really hard to recoup. Like that's a full cannon wave at this stage of the game.
Yep.
Okay.
Um,
So now, how much did it weigh into how this played out? The fact that I got in that little scuffle with Evelyn at 1 minute, because I feel like that was not worth it. Like I feel like it's a major thing because that's the difference between me getting 2 first in this matchup and not.
Yeah, if you're hitting the what does he do? Does he leash or no? He just walks up from
He
here.
doesn't leash.
But
I don't think
because he's not hitting the wave yet. So if you were here on, what is it, 155 or something when the 140? If you're here on 140, yeah, and you're hitting it now, you can for sure get, because you are stronger at level 1, right? We see this here.
Yes. Yeah.
Especially with your ability to hit 2 and remount. So yeah, if you're in lane on wave crash, then it's really good for you. And
Got you.
This is the kind of matchup where I would say never leash. Like, you don't leash in this matchup.
Yeah, I tend to hate leashing in general.
Yeah, me too.
I think, and this is largely from like pro aspect. Hiding the jungler start is invaluable. It's so valuable that it's like you can't put a value on it.
I agree. That's really big. The only matchups I ever leash in is tank v tank.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Where it doesn't, like, there's no need. Neither of you's killing each other.
Yep.
And there's no purpose to doing anything else. Okay, I get you.
If you're playing carry v carry, the other carry can get level 2 first if you leash. If you're playing tank v carry, then the carry can drag the wave on you at level 1, and then you're slow pushing into them, which you don't want as the tank. So
okay,
only in tank v tank do I leash.
So I feel like this is a skill that's actually pretty easy to rehearse because it's happening in the first 3 minutes. So can we go into another game with the plan of trying to execute this 40 to 80 trade teleport?
Sure, yeah, we can practice that.
Okay. Because what I'd like to do, I mean, basically there's 2 outcomes that are both great. One is they give me the wave and I'm Kled, so I'm strong, so I get to dictate things in almost every matchup. Darius and Wukong are kind of tough ones, but if I'm dictating the wave, they either have to give me the wave and I get the 3 wave crash, and therefore I get my cheat recall or a gank on Evelyn, for example, or they fight me for it, and therefore I have the HP lead after teleport.
Yeah.
I feel like both of those are desirable. So what would be the bad outcome if I'm creating these possible outcomes? Like, I guess if I'm below HP and my wave is pushing, that would be the detrimental one, right?
The bad outcomes are, first and foremost, you die in the all-in. That's the worst one.
Yeah.
Secondly, if the wave is in a position where Renekton can base. So, like, if it's just starting to slow push into him, or if he can crash it, then you're essentially just gonna use your TP, and he's gonna base, and he's gonna walk back, and it's gonna be even, but you're down TP. And his Ignite's gonna come back up before your TP. But a lot of the time, what's gonna happen, especially against champs like Renekton, like, if he fights you, you want to fight in your minion wave anyway, it's extra damage, and his Q is gonna, like, push the wave. So
yeah,
it's rarely gonna be slow pushing into him.
Got you. Yeah, I did this twice where I actually pulled and the rope snapped right at the edge. Yeah. So this was me not having played Kled recently, and getting that timer wrong.
So I think this was the biggest part of the lane. After that, we're going into talking about how to make your own windows bigger. So, oops.
Yeah, and that's just a how do I want to put it? Like a rote rehearsal. Just I need to do that more often on these top laners where the value of proxying is high. So, one of those windows was around 9 minutes. I want to say
Yeah.
the
Okay. Well, this is the first window that you get to do something, right?
okay.
The question is, what are you going to do with it? But you're stacking a wave into this turret. One thing you do here that you didn't do in the warm-up game that I saw is you actually escort the wave into the turret. You don't let him walk through and drag it, which is good. You don't want to let him do that. So you escort it in, it crashes. So now you've got a timer where this is going to start bouncing back, and also it's a cannon wave. Whenever it's a cannon wave, I'd say add 5 seconds to your roam timer, because it's going to take them 5 seconds longer to push.
Now, looking at this, it looks like these back three casters are actually out of the turret range. Is this
They are actually, yeah.
is that going to be a problem where I should actually stay here and kind of force him to use his Q to try to like trade with me, or is this
Go back and
acceptable?
see if you could make it crash. I think you're right, and you have to stay because he can just freeze it.
Yeah, and the reason I didn't do it against Kale because Kale is going to use, she doesn't have the sustain tool that Renekton has, and I don't mind if she wants to use 25% of her HP to pull the wave into position. Then I feel like I just have the all-ins. Whereas against Renekton, I don't have that, and he has the ability to stun me under turret, which might mean that even with a dismount, I die. Like,
Yeah, this is actually really awkward. If it was like
this
a
is no
little
good,
bit
right?
if it's a little bit faster, but it's fine. You stay, you push this wave, and then you're going to be in basically the same position, but a smaller timer. It's going to be. Oh wait, we're fighting again. Okay, now it's coming back into us.
So now I'm very happy, right? I'd be totally happy with a recall here.
Well, I wouldn't recall here. I'll just wait and collect the wave.
Yeah, sorry. Not that I would in this situation, but if we were in that like 20% versus 50% HP bars.
You could recall here. It's not.
Yeah, got you.
Not the end of the world.
Okay. Is this like playing back worth it? Like at this point, I'm scared of.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. This guy will destroy you if you walk up, like with his wave as well.
Yeah. So let's say we were at item parity and we hadn't shopped yet, and we were just in this spot with original items. How would you play that?
You can look to like fish per Q on him, but I wouldn't ever all in him while he's in his wave. But this is actually pretty good because whenever you're playing Kled, if you trade like that, you've kind of traded his health for not your health. Like you can kind of think of it as a shield.
Yes,
that has a cooldown. So that was actually a really good trade. The only thing you have to worry about is getting dove, but I think you know that because you've warded this. So
yeah, I was kind of keeping track of Eve's timer. So if based on when she was bottom, if she didn't clear bottom, if she just came from top straight up here, then I would be potentially in a bit of a pickle. So I'm ready to ping Shyvana. I'm also warding the edge of that bush to get a insight as to whether or not she's coming. Is that ward fine, or do you generally put it out into the river?
I would ward this. This is where I ward in that position. When I'm worried about getting dove, I'll ward here. Yeah.
Got you. Okay. Yep.
So this is a bit of a pickle.
Yes, because it rebounded. Yep.
Yeah. So what can we do in this situation? This is something that I was talking to the Kale client about a lot, because as Kale, the hardest part of the game is fixing this. Yes. This is when you're most vulnerable. So what can we do?
Well, right now I'm actually happy with my courage, so I'm okay sitting in the wave and using the fact that I'm going to get a remount in a fight as a way to potentially not look for a trade, but survive a trade pattern because I've got so many minions. I would look to call Shyvana up, which I think I pinged once for her, and she is on her way. And this ends up being a trade where she picks it up. Or I don't recall, but I would like Shyvana to come here, and I would like to int for her to get a kill and push the wave. I'm okay with that result.
Yep.
Or trade, remount, trade again, dismount, recall, and hopefully get enough of an HP lead where then I can ult back to wave. And or make a play down bottom. Teleport's not going to be up for 2.5 minutes, but most often I'm looking to bait all in, crash the wave, and if we win that without me dying, then I think Renekton's boned. Like,
yeah, I agree.
So crushed. So I don't mind this play. I wish I didn't die,
So,
obviously.
yeah. So something
And
I
I
was telling the Kale guy to play around, which you can play around here, is you have a cooldown, and when you have it, you can take trades that normally you wouldn't normally be able to take, and that cooldown is bone plating. So now if you stand on your casters and he trades with you, you'll actually get like a really good trade because you're going to mount up, he's going to pop his damage into your bone plate, and
yeah,
you're going to trade him down, and your casters are all going to hit him. And then one of two things is going to happen. Either he's not going to kill your casters, like full Q them and stuff like that, and he's going to take a ton of damage from them, and then you're in a much better spot. Or he is going to kill them, and the wave's going to come to you, and then you can just collect the wave. So,
got you.
like
Yeah, right
standing on
here.
your caster creeps and trading with him is, I think, the best thing you can do.
Okay. Yeah, here I would expect a enraged plus Iron Spike Whip Q. That would one shot my minion wave.
Yeah, I mean
Or
he
or
has no fury as well, so this is a really good time to trade with Renekton. He's just
okay.
got back.
Okay.
So he's dashing in, he's on your casters, he's taking a ton of damage. I think here your mistake is that you like ult in and E him. Like you could just take that trade because now this wave's coming to you, so you could
Yeah.
just take the trade that you did, don't ult him, and just E away and just let the wave come. You don't
Yeah.
need to all in there. I know that Shyvana's coming and you want to gank it, but he's so strong in his ult with full fury, ignite, level like.
Yeah, and you know what? Shyvana's actually 5 here, so she loses this. That's what I'm recalling, and because it's Shyvana, maybe the weakest jungler in the game at level 5.
If we just look in isolation at this position
Yeah.
here, like this is really bad, but then like everything's perfect. You're stood on your casters, so you're making them hit him. He's going in on you, and he's comboing you on top of your casters. And if we pause, not quite here.
Yeah.
You don't even
Right.
need to exhaust because the plan's going to be to E out. So right here, if you E out, look at the wave. This is going to come to you, especially
Yeah.
with his ult ticking on this as well. And then you can just sit here and collect it.
Okay. I definitely got overeager about our potential here.
Yeah, but that's about the plan. Like having that plan of, oh, I'm gonna trade with you stood on my casters, and then either you're gonna lose the trade really hard, or you're gonna kill my casters and it's gonna push to me. So that's fixing bad waves. After this disaster, it does make the game a bit hard from here, but
Yeah.
you do still find windows to be proactive, which is really good.
At this point, I'm trying to make the map go away from Renekton. At least what's going on in my head is,
Yeah.
all right, he's super strong. I want plays away from him whenever possible. And so this is why, trying to force bottom. He ends up getting the full plate and he becomes a huge problem, right? He's got completed Gore Drinker and Boots at 11 minutes. So the how how would you go about, well, let's say you're the Renekton in this point of view. How are you exacerbating the lead once you have that big of a lead?
It depends what you're doing. So here I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go and catch this wave, and then if you roam, I'm gonna go for this plate. If you don't roam, I'm gonna walk into the wave and drag it into this bush and start a slow push into me, and then just freeze on you. And then as soon as you go and try to roam, I'm gonna push and try and get this plate. But I doubt this Renekton's gonna do that.
Got you. So you would very much play for lane dominance, lane kingdom
on the Renekton,
so,
yeah, for sure.
So that game, the game that I just played, that we don't have the footage of. I guess I could actually bring it up. Where I leave, despite there's the replay file got corrupted, but I ended up leaving. I could have completely flexed on the Kale.
You could, but I think expanding your lead is really good as well. I think what you did was good.
Okay.
I think you actually played a really good game.
Yeah, that felt like about the near the height of what I could do. Now, obviously, it's Kale, so I springboarded the matchup the way I'm supposed to. Obviously, she's going to outscale, and I always get concerned with, am I doing enough? Am I doing the maximum? Because what I know I can do in that game is, all right, I'm up 1,100 gold and a level. I could literally just sit on the other side of this wave because it's frozen, never touch a minion, but never let you touch a minion. And your Kale, you'll be stuck at level 5 with 800 gold for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah,
like
you could also do that, and that would put Gale very behind. But in this, the way top lane has been for the past 2 years, it's much better to translate your lead around the map than it is to crush someone in isolation. I mean, Kale is one that it is very good to crush them in isolation because then they
Yeah,
become a minion. But like,
yeah, Kale's the one I'm looking at mostly.
yeah.
Like, okay,
Um. So
but this
yeah.
fighter versus fighter, it's lane dominance, keep on pressing, try to take plates. Obviously, the plates, have been jacked up as well,
Hmm.
in value.
It
So
looks very different when you're ahead as Kled to when, like, you really want to be ahead as Kled. He's like a snowball champion.
huge.
All
Yeah.
of these Hydra champions are snowball champions where you want to be winning and you want to expand your lead.
Okay.
But yeah, like the concept that I'm about to go through, when I'll explain why. Like when you're using it while you're ahead, it looks so devastating. But right now, it looks a bit. So this wave's gonna crash, right? And when you
Yeah.
when you crash a wave on the Kled with the Hydra,
Yeah. Just skip the turret and
there's
go to the next wave.
well, you can't hear because Renekton's here, but there's a few things that go through your head, right? First, obviously, yeah, where's the jungler, where's the top laner? If he's
Mhm.
here, then yeah, you could proxy another wave and get a bigger roam timer. But then you just get back to square one, which is what am I going to do with my roam timer? And there's a few things you can do. One is gank mid. So here, can you gank mid? Not really. Like, you don't have ult. It's Ari
Well,
with ult.
yeah.
You're never going
Right.
to
And
kill her.
Shyvana's way behind enemy lines. Akshan's bot is pushed. So I feel like if I gank mid, I'm just
Yep.
walking my team into disaster.
Yep. So that's not an option in this case, but these are the things that you want to think about, right? Two,
Yeah.
can I steal any jungle camps? Probably not. If you walk into Evelyn's jungle with Renekton this strong and Ari is the only mid laner in the lane, that's not going to work. So that one's off the table too. So three, like the least valuable of them, but one that you can do a lot, is can I just base and spend my gold while this bounces back into
Yeah.
me? So you have
Yeah.
275 gold. So no, you can't even do that. So in this case, you can't do anything. But if you imagine you're ahead with a Hydra and the Renekton's behind, and you're thinking, right, can I gank mid? Well, maybe, because maybe we didn't waste our ult in this fight. Maybe we just eat
Yes.
up. Or can we take the jungle camp? Well, maybe, because maybe we're a lot stronger than Renekton, and if he turns up, we'll actually win the fight against him. So, yeah.
Okay.
But those are the three things that I look for most is like, can I gank mid? Can I steal jungle camps? Can I recall and spend my gold? My favorite is taking jungle camps because jungle is such a broken role that if you put the enemy jungle behind, it's like the best thing in the game.
Got you. Okay. So I'm going to go fight for level 2 and obviously 3.
Mhm.
2 exacerbate lane states. 3 take the maximum from pushes. So this is what if I go into another game now, this is kind of like my checklist. This is the immediate goal, short term. Medium, I want to make sure that I'm controlling lane states and taking good trades.
Yep.
And then if I do get the good ones and I get good pushes, what's the maximum to take?
Yep. And then the I don't want to give too many things to work on at once. This is like
Oh yeah,
the,
please,
the
yeah,
guy
don't.
the final thing because it's kind of built into the 2 and 3
Yeah,
is just getting a feel for how long your roam timer is. So here you see this wave is really small. So it's a very small roam timer. Whereas if we find one later, like let's just
yeah, a triple stacked wave with a cannon in it,
exactly,
for
it's a
example.
much longer roam timer. And there was a time where you proxied as well at one point, and like when you proxy, that's a huge roam timer because
Right.
there literally isn't a wave. So I don't know where it was, but at some point you proxied. So yeah,
Yeah,
you get the concept of that, right? If there's
yeah.
you made a sports analogy, so I'm gonna make one. I don't know if you watch Formula One, but it's like pitting under a safety car. Like
Okay, yeah, sure.
you don't lose the
Right,
time that
no
you
one's
normally would.
racing. Everyone's
Yeah,
going slow,
exactly.
so you get
There
the most
is
of the
no
time.
minion wave, so you can
Yeah,
just roam.
right.
So yeah, that's the main things that I would focus on for now. And it would be really good if you do want to do another game after this. It would be really good if like see if you can get one where you're ahead, and we can see how those concepts look when you actually have a lead. So like when you were playing the Kale game, and then we can start talking about like what is the best thing we can do in this situation
Okay.
because there's all those
I'm gonna
options and
I'm gonna relog and see if we get the Kale file up so that we
okay,
can take
yeah,
a peek at
that'd
it.
be
But
good too.
otherwise, I would love to get into the game and actually put these
Sure.
into practice.
By the way, I found this wallpaper engine thing considering my entire channel is based around the branding of being a Poro, and I main Nasus, it's just perfect. Look at this. I don't know whose it is. I can't find the artist anywhere. I was going to offer them money to use it on
So
my
good.
channel, but I have no idea who the artist is. I can't find them anywhere.
Yeah,
But it's
that's so
perfect.
perfect. Yep, yep. It's an ascended Poro. He's a Shuriman god.
It's beautiful.
Love it. Okay, so it looks like I can actually download this. All right. Do you
Okay,
want to take
nice.
a peek at this one before going into the next game? I won't keep you for too
Yeah,
long, but
definitely.
basically maybe 10 minutes into a game should be enough for us to
Well, if we
put
if
those.
we look at each time that you get the opportunity to roam, because I think how you played the lane in this was a lot better than how you played it in the Renekton one. I mean, obviously it's an easier matchup, but you
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I triggered myself a little bit by being even 3 seconds late. I was thinking about all the possibilities I was missing out on, and the fact no, Renekton didn't actually auto the wave to start, so he gave it back to me.
yeah.
But it took me a moment to like get out of that mindset of oh shit, I'm missing out on opportunities to do my job the way it's supposed to be done in top,
hmm
and that impacted me. It really did.
So let's find all the occasions where you're crashing a wave into the turret, and we'll see what the best things you can do.
Okay,
So I'm watching you right now. So if you
is 2x speed okay?
yeah.
So this is one where I got the minion advantage. I take the trade. I'm super happy here because I'm going to hit 2 and I'm remounting.
hmm
Also, I have the minion lead, so I'm happy to go for an all-in and with the remount. Okay, so this will be my first window where I have a pretty significant advantage.
Could you just press O for me as well, so that we get the
Sure.
scoreboard up? Oh, this was really good. You used the dismount to not get tower, like to drop the tower aggro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
All
think
right, so here I'm looking at just finishing the push
yeah,
because it's going to go all the way in. It's so big that it would take her a lot. I also wouldn't mind leaving to help Rek'Sai, although Rek'Sai is going to win this matchup because of just stats, the way the two champions are. But I will say I had no idea this was happening to this level. I saw Rek'Sai's
yeah.
health, and I was just like, oh, wait, Kindred's that dead. But it was off my radar. What I'm thinking right here is at least, force the rest of the wave in. If Kale tries to hold it, I'm actually fine with that because of the size of this
Yep.
and the fact that I want to go spend
You did.
pickaxe
I
on it.
think you did make a mistake here. I'll show you. But the getting the wave in is the most important thing here because you need to reset now.
Yes.
Um, but by basing there, it's so greedy because now that the wave's hitting the turret, she could just walk past it without getting aggro and just Q you and then walk back and carry on farming, and then like you're still in lane now, and then you're gonna have to teleport if she cancelled it. So I
Oh,
think just walking just walking a little bit further down so that you're out of vision would be best.
you know what went through my mind here though? This was specifically because Rek'Sai had just killed Kindred.
Yeah,
So,
I
all
don't
right.
think she's gonna like if you what I mean is like as this wave crashes, right? So not yet.
Yeah.
She just waits until it's on the turret,
Yeah.
and then she'll last hit the cannon, and then when all her minions are hitting the turret, she'll just walk up and max range Q, and then just walk back to the turret again.
Okay. All right. So that's something to look out for. Yeah, I didn't mind giving her that window because Rek'Sai was nearby and there were so many minions, but I see.
It's just like
I
to
very much
not have that happen. All you have to do is walk like 5 steps down so that you're round the rock so she can't see you.
got you. Yeah, right here.
I can't. Yeah, right. I mean, you can even be a little bit further. You can be on that purple plant, and she still won't be able to see you, like on the little purple
Got you.
flower.
Okay, so this one will she won't be able to see me from like this line of where the caster minions are
Yeah, because
compared
she's
to
gonna be
if
on
she's
her turret because she's
got you.
CS in that giant wave, so she definitely won't be
This
able to see you.
this spot right here is hidden from the entire wave though, right? Like even if
Yeah,
she's here, she can't see back here.
yeah,
Is that right? All right.
yeah. So yeah, that's a very small thing. But the best thing. So talking about what's the best thing we can do with our wave crash, the best thing you can do with your wave crash there is for sure to recall and buy items. It's
Okay.
not even close. Like you need the tempo. Keeping up tempo when you're playing this playstyle is very important.
Okay.
So a lot of the time, I think it's better to recall and keep tempo than take plate and lose tempo.
Okay. Yeah, especially if that money is not going to get me to the next item
Yeah,
threshold, right? Like,
exactly, exactly. So if we 2 times speed it again, and we'll find the next time that we get a wave crash. But yeah, you were blasting her in lane, so.
Yeah, this one I was happy to not go for an all-in because of all the minions that were there.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I went for a chunk trade, and then I would be willing to go for it the second time because my cooldowns would help to kill more minions while also punching her. Now this spot,
I remember watching this when you were streaming it. I was very impressed. Like, not a
thank
lot
you.
of people would base TP here. A lot of people would try to push, but you actually you just grab the minions that are gonna die, and then you just base TP, and you're still on a freeze. It's so much better than trying to push here because it's gonna take so long to push that wave that the next one's gonna come, and then you have to push that one. And
Yeah, I feel like I took one minion too many just for the sake of like I kind of the one minion I took cost me 3 later, and it didn't get me boots or anything. Like,
oh, you didn't even TP. You walk back and you still get the whole wave. Oh no,
yeah,
that's really good. And then you drag it. Yeah, this is that. No, that entire sequence was really good.
yeah, okay. All right, let me try. Are you? Is there more that you want to look at here, or do you want to
I
go?
just want to look at all the times that you get a wave crashed into the turret, and then we can
Okay,
discuss like, what do you think is the best thing we can do with it?
yeah. So
I really like the fact that you go into the game with the idea of base ult bot TP top.
okay, yeah, that's what happens here, I believe. Or
The problem here is that you don't escort the wave, so she freezes it. But she's not. I guess she's not good enough to hold a permafreeze on you because by the time you come back, it's like somehow this is pushing into you again. I don't know how she manages that. Like, if
I
she just
think
walks this into the like this should freeze forever if she plays it correctly, but it
right.
doesn't for some reason. But
No, it's
if you give a good player this, they'll permafreeze you.
right. So I peeked up here after making the play and saw that she saw me bottom, so she pushed. So she thought that there was a window. So this would be like a fundamental mistake on her part.
Mm-hmm.
With me gone, that she shouldn't be thinking about a plate. She should be thinking about sweet. That's another minute and a half
Yeah,
of
exactly. That's what
freezing that I
KO
get.
wants. Yeah.
Right. So I think that was just a like fundamental like not understanding
Yeah.
what her role is
Mm-hmm.
more than
But
anything.
the plan that you have is really good. It's just that you don't escort. That's the word I'm looking for. You don't escort the wave into the turret. But like this
Yeah.
all goes really well, and the plan is really good, and yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. This part I was very happy with.
I really
And
like when people have an idea of like a set play that they want to make, and then they try and execute it.
so this is when I peeked up top to see whether or not I could stick around because I think that this was the rest of it's some consequential amount of money. So yeah, it's like finishing boots or something is what I'm considering whether or not I stick around to help with this plate or not.
Mm-hmm.
And helping with the wave. And if I get boots too, and Kale doesn't have boots, then like obviously I can exacerbate things even more. I
I would
think
be
this is
looking at
where
750 here for Warhammer. I think Warhammer's a really good spike. So
okay,
if you go 750 and then base TP top and buy Warhammer.
got you. Oh, that's because this game I didn't end up going. I ended up going from
Oh, you
Tiamat
went,
to
yeah.
Duskblade.
Although Warhammer goes, you could go Dirk as well if you're going Duskblade. Dirk is,
Got
of
you.
course, a really good spike. Dirk's one of the best items in the game for its cost. So
Yeah, you know what? I'm thinking of it right now. I would have 100% preferred Dirk over
Mhm.
Boots here because it's so consequential. So now she pushed up. I wasn't going to use teleport if I didn't need to, but obviously she hard pushed, so I'm happy to take it. And then she actually pushed, which was just inting.
Yep.
I'm gonna chalk that up to inexperience on her part. All right, so here this would be
Okay.
a proxy window. Dragons
Yes,
down.
exactly. And
Okay.
the reason it's a proxy window is that we know when she TP'd, and you should be timing TP.
Yep.
And it's a proxy window because she doesn't have TP. And the important thing right now is that you can 1v1 Kindred. You do, like, when you don't see the jungler, you do need to know if you can 1v1 them or not. And right now,
Right.
you can for sure.
Yeah, I would annihilate everybody in the game right now.
And you do actually proxy, that's really good.
So I think I look for the second wave. No, I'd probably get out actually because I haven't seen Kindred in a while, and I know that my teammates are down here.
Well, I
I
believe
leave.
you just saw it pop up that she did Herald, right? Did that just pop up?
Oh yes, that's right. That's right. We did see that.
Yeah, so you know
Yeah,
she
and
saw
I
it.
remember thinking if she comes to me, I was trying to think of what's my plan for the fight if I need to take it, and I
Mm-hmm.
felt like I was actually strong enough to 1v2. The only problem would be that Kale didn't use her ultimate in the last fight, so they kind of have like 8 seconds of invulnerability.
Oh yeah, Hail or Kindred ult is actually nasty. Point. But yeah,
All right,
now
so
the wave's pushing into you, and you can look to just like I would freeze on her until she makes some sort of mistake, and then
got you.
And then I would capitalize on her mistake, and then I would look to expand my lead.
Okay, so this was the case and moment that I really wanted to ask your opinion on. As far as Kale, and this is the most extreme example of this Kled Trundle Darius type of champion versus Kale.
Yep.
I think if I were in a competitive game, I would actually hold this minion wave, never attack, and let it obliterate every single minion wave, and just stand here, full send the freeze to never let her see a minion for the rest of the game.
I mean, you can still last it. Like you can get on her from a higher range than she can, or from the same range that she can last hit creeps. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're hovering Tiamat. That is exactly the point I was going to make. So my most played champion of all time is Riven. And Riven also does the Hydra Rush. And into things like Kale or Gangplank or any of these champions that like you can go on and one-shot, when I'm free, like I want to play to freeze a lot of the time. So I'll go Warhammer, Pickaxe, Longsword, and then build the Longsword into Vamp Scepter. I won't actually finish the Tiamat because that stops me being able to freeze.
So is Tiamat, because it has more of like a cone, you would like stand here in between these minions to then hit this one to not have it splash as much, or
I think it's just with Tiamat you're just eventually gonna break your freeze. Whereas if you go Pickaxe, instead of buying Tiamat, you can go Pickaxe Longsword. You get more AD, and you.
Oh, okay, all right. So, all right, I think you said you won't finish Hydra, but you're saying you won't.
I won't finish Tiamat. Sorry, yeah, I'll get the Pickaxe, I'll get the Longsword, and I'll go Warhammer.
Got you. Okay.
Because I'm trying to freeze, so I don't want the
Tiamat. I kind of autopiloted Tiamat because it's so good at doing the plan that I normally would do, which is push roam. But in this lane matchup where I'm really trying to, punish her in the 1v1, I can avoid Tiamat, just get the components of everything else.
Yes.
And then I'm single target. Got you.
Because the components of Ravenous Hydra give a ton of AD. There's a Pickaxe, there's a Longsword that goes into the Vamp, and then there's a Warhammer. So that's 65 AD in components.
Yeah. Yeah, it actually doesn't gain any AD from completion, right?
You just get it when you stack it up.
It's unfortunate. It's not so bad because it's a cannon wave, so it will come back, but
I think the problem there, if I remember correctly, was exhaust timing again. I think you exhausted while you were mounted. Can't actually remember when you exhausted.
You're right. I exhausted in fact, I exhausted at the exact worst time.
Yeah,
so I thought I was doing it as I was dismounting, but I'm actually early, and also it happened during the spot where she can't even deal damage to me anyway, so that's probably the worst exhaust possible.
Yeah.
And so I would win that, right? In your opinion,
you would win if you, because you're like one auto attack from mounting. Exhaust for sure, you would have won that.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's okay. It's easily fixable.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's go ahead and see if there's another roam timing. There definitely is, because you did some roams in this game at some point. Look for a wave crash somewhere.
So this wave is coming back to me, so I'm very happy with using this timer to help with crashes or do whatever. But it is giving Kale some windows back into this game.
It is, and this is something that is like, this is really, some people love this, some people hate it. It's a bit like Marmite. Like, the classic example, I don't know if you watch LEC as a region, but is Adam.
Yeah.
Adam will just flip roams all the time. And I'm more in the camp of disliking it, but some people really like it. So I don't think it's necessarily bad or good. I think it's a playstyle thing. It's like, are you willing to go for this roam to drop waves? And I'm less willing than most. Adam is more willing than most. People sit in different camps, and I don't think it's necessarily right or wrong. I think it's just a playstyle thing. It's definitely better on champs like Kled, because your roaming is so much stronger. Whereas I play like Gangplank and Nasus, so it makes sense that I'm less inclined to roam and
I wouldn't do this on Gangplank or Nasus, right?
Yeah,
especially Gangplank and Shen. Like I'd happily be in top lane with my mouse hovered here, ready to cast my ultimate.
Yep.
But I would be looking to fight this. So I don't know if you remember, but I was like, why the hell did I grab aggro? I did not realize that I got a red buff, and that that impacted me here.
I
Oh,
see.
but this is still so bizarre. Like the red buff. I don't know why I took aggro. Actually, I didn't actually hit.
I think Caitlyn must have been. Wait, did you not auto Caitlyn?
I don't think I did.
Oh, I'm not sure. Anyway, that's quite a
This is
minor
just
thing.
for my
But
own
yeah,
science right here.
the good thing is that you identify that the wave's coming back into you before you roam. Like you're gonna come back to a wave in top lane,
Yeah,
unless well, I think the fact that you die means you're gonna miss it because Kale's now gonna push because you're dead.
yeah.
But if you don't
This
die, then you.
right. Yeah, this was a very polarizing play. Right. It's either super good, like, or it has the potential of being super bad. Like, if we misplay this, then they're suddenly back in the game. They're going to get shutdowns, and Kale's obviously the big winner here.
Yep.
And so again, this is why against Kale, my instinct would be, and I didn't do it because I wanted to practice, right, specifically what I was trying to do in games. But against Kale, in a competitive sense, I would be happy leaving this wave right here and just having a standoff at this range, right, where she's just outside of minion range,
Yep.
of XP range. And really, because I have the Tiamat, and I love your point about not buying Tiamat, but because of Tiamat, I'm willing to actually not even get CS, and I'm willing to go that extreme into this
If you're
scaling.
denying XP, if you're so far away from the wave that you're not getting CS, but she's not getting CS and she's not getting XP, then it's worth it.
Right? Yeah, that's the big swing. I'm getting all the experience, but she's getting none of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when I do roam, like one of my pocket picks that is really weird is Talia top. So when I do roam with things like Talia roll or just the move speed you get from the passive, I'm always very mindful of like where is the wave, how long do I have, and I'm thinking about how can I get back in time for this wave. Like I'm one of those players that really hates missing creeps.
Okay.
So I don't think it's bad to extend your roams if you're gonna get something, but in general, I think you want to have like a nice well here you're diving, but here after the dive you can proxy. You're gonna kill Kindred as well, but then you can proxy and then you can look to do something, and then you think, well, I've just proxied, so my window is probably about 25-30 seconds where I've got to do something, and then I want to be back in top lane because I want to catch my wave again, and then I want to set it up again, and then I'm gonna get another 25 or 30 seconds. And by doing that in that cycle, that's how you end up with like the thing I was talking about earlier, where you've got really good map pressure, but you're also 9, 10, 11 CS per minute.
So if I got to press a pause button in game and I got to like evaluate this game state,
Mm-hmm.
I would be looking to clear this wave, and then my ultimate would be coming up, my exhaust would be coming up. So I'd be looking at taking that into the jungle, getting a ward against the Kindred, and then getting a gank. So I'd be looking to ward like right here, probably like right here to see most of the paths Kindred would take into our jungle, and then go for a gank on Cass. Compare that to taking the wave, coming back, taking a plate, recalling, and having completed item for the 1v1. Which one do you prefer?
Here I would proxy, take plate, recall, and then the main thing that a lot of people would do in this situation is, or like soon, is take the tower. But I think here the tower being up is really good for you.
Yeah, tower's good for me, especially as Kled. I don't mind diving ever. So
yep.
The okay,
it makes it, if that tower's down, then to get your roam windows, you have to push all the way to the tier 2, and that can be risky. Like you risk giving up your shutdown, which a lot of the time you're gonna have a shutdown, and it just takes more time. Having the tower up lets you proxy easier to get these roam timers, and then you can look to take jungle camps. Like you could take these Krugs here before you recall. You've just killed Kindred, so I would probably here I would probably proxy Krugs, recall item, come back to lane. Pressure Kale, set up another roam window, maybe proxy again, roam, and then recall, come back, proxy again, roam, or take jungle camps, or
rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, right now I'm sitting on the rest of my Drakthar, the Duskblade, and Duskblade. The reason I went Duskblade again was to exacerbate the amount of diving that I could do. But okay, so here you would take Krugs before coming back for this.
Yeah, and Hydra makes it so much easier to take the Krugs as well. You do so much damage to jungle camps with Hydra.
Yeah, and I could actually have that by now.
And like I said before, the reason I really like doing jungle camps is because jungle is a broken role. So I would rather
Yeah.
set, like, if I can set the jungle behind, I'm loving life. Because I don't know what it's like in, things vary by elo and server, but at least like master in EU West, it feels like every game is decided by jungle at the minute.
It should be, yeah. I mean, jungle is the wild card, right? They get to swing everywhere
Mm-hmm.
at all times.
Yeah.
So this play mid gives a kill to Cass who otherwise hadn't had one yet. Also got us a plate, but it gave Kale 2 more waves and a plate. Worth or not worth?
Um, probably probably not worth. And the reason I'd say it's not worth, no, it's probably still worth, but it's less worth than it would be if you weren't already so far ahead. Like, you don't need to expand your lead as much anymore because everyone's winning.
Yeah, got you.
Whereas if you weren't already so far ahead, it becomes more worth because then you're getting yourself ahead.
So I'm not looking to trade. Basically, by doing this, I trade momentum on Cass for momentum on Kale. Like,
Yeah.
Cass gets momentum, but Kale gets momentum. And
Mm-hmm.
and since we're ahead, I'd rather just slam the door shut on the Kale completely.
Pretty much. And the
Okay.
expectation is that the rest of your team is going to be winning anyway. Like, if you look at the tab screen here, like, look how far ahead they are. If they're not winning
Yeah.
anyway, what are they doing? Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm winning most.
Yeah, you're completely destroying the game.
Yeah.
I think now it's like late enough into the game that taking the tower is good.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
here I would take the jungle camps before I reset.
Got you.
And yeah, it's just, you keep, every time you get a wave crash, you want to do something to expand your lead. That doesn't have to be killing someone. It can be taking Krugs. It could be this is Herald spawning. You could go and solo Herald. You could you could try and gank mid. Maybe as he is diveable. I can't see him at this location, but like, you can think, is this something I can do? But you want to keep looking for ways that you can expand that lead. And then once you've done that, you come back and get the wave into a good spot again. And it's that ever
Okay.
looping cycle of keeping your CS up while impacting up.
So if proxying is such a big thing, would you say that the bloodline is better than alacrity?
No, I think Alacrity is really strong and Bloodline's a really weak rune. One thing
Okay.
I do want to see experimented with on Kled with the Hydra Rush is Overheal, because they changed it to be percent max health, and obviously
Yeah.
that's really good on Kled. So I think Overheal
Well,
might be a really
Kled,
strong rune.
they took away Scarl as a source of max health now.
Oh, did they? So
Yeah,
it
they
doesn't work
that,
with Titanic either.
yeah, they took away the
Oh,
Titanic
that's
synergy, everything about it. Yeah, Sterix
okay.
Gauge.
Maybe it's not good then.
I mean, it's still probably something, right? And then having it's another level, but yeah, Triumph is so nice because when you get
Yeah.
it dismounted, you're more likely to be at that full threshold
Mm-hmm.
faster. All
Yeah,
right,
maybe
I'd
so.
like to try to put some of these things into practice in another game. Is that cool?
Okie dokie. What are you? So you queuing up for another game now? Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't need to keep you for the whole thing, but maybe the first like 10 minutes to try to get
No,
this.
I'll
If
stay. I'll stay for the whole thing, and I'm just gonna be right back for 2 minutes while you queue. But
Okay, brilliant.
cool.
This is great stuff, by the way. What's up, Ben? What's up, Dan? Jungle Broken Roam confirmed. Got some food. I'm back. Welcome back. Overheal OP on Aurelia. Yeah, Triumph is really good with the extra gold and the heal, but Aurelia seems really good with the overheal, especially with any time that you're getting the first. My internet just blips out for no goddamn reason. I should be back on. Taking a peek right now. Okay, we're on. Restream does not like these little brownouts that we get. Super obnoxious. My wife just discovered Machine Gun Kelly. I think it's hilarious.
Hello, I'm back.
You're back.
So this proxy roaming playstyle with Hydra, I'm gonna show everyone watching and you as well a channel. This guy, Alois NL, I'll send you on Discord his channel.
Okay.
He is the best Riven in Europe. He does this playstyle a lot with the Hydra thingy and the proxying and expanding the leads. And I think he might be the best top laner in Europe.
Really?
Potentially. Like, he's extremely good fundamentally, but he spends like 90% of his time playing Riven. I think if he dedicated more time to playing more champions, he could be like one of the best pro players in Europe. But right now, he's normally like the top 50 in EU at least. I don't know where he is right now. Let's see. Where are you? Has he dropped down? I know at one point he was like rank 9, rank 10 this season.
Are you? Is this on your live right now, or is it? Or you put it in the Discord link?
I just DM'd it to you on Discord.
There it
His
is.
channel.
Okay, I'll pull it up. Alois NL. Let's go. All right.
What's he called? Urban PhD, I think. He's 1000 LP. He's rank 156 at the minute. I guess he's. Oh, he's not played in 2 months. That's why.
Okay, that'll do it. Is he like on a Korea binge or something, or?
I'm not sure what he's doing. But yeah, I think he's probably the best channel to watch for learning how to play this playstyle with the Hydra and expanding your leads and stuff. Let's get your...
All right, we have Fiora. So against Fiora, I'm looking at potential all-ins, but if we're in general, I'm putting a lot more priority on second wind in this lane. I also don't need any more tenacity, so I'd be looking up for something like this for extra scaling, or looking to do this and try to exacerbate gold leads. This would be my inclination.
That looks good, yeah. Fiora's a very difficult matchup for you.
Yes, I can bait her riposte, but basically Q2 or the second part of my Q, if I let it sit on her, then
she can just parry you, yeah.
Then she can parry it, which also stops the heal cut and it makes it so she can ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
So I very much want to crush level 1. If she puts Q on cooldown, I kind of want to take a pretty massive trade.
The good Fioras as well, like if you Q them and you try to back off with the Q, they'll just QW into you. And stun you, right. And then they'll kill you.
Yep. Okay. So would I never, I mean, basically after level 1, are you saying I should never try to Q at all? Or
you just have to be very like mindful of the fact that she's probably going to try and W you. If you're like, if you've got good reactions, you can E to dodge it, or you can try and sidestep it.
Yeah. Good reactions is not normally my strong suit, but I can anticipate.
But you can definitely win trades if she like her W. I think it's a 22-second cooldown. Let's see. But
yeah, it's quite long.
It has a very long window where you just win if it's down.
It's
a 24-second cooldown.
And it goes down by like 2 seconds or 2.5 seconds.
2 seconds per rank, but she maxes it last, so it doesn't start going down until level 12.
Gotcha.
Like level 14 even.
So would you try to bait the riposte? And so, like, for example, I can Q1 and then I can E through her, try to get her to aim the riposte in the wrong direction and cast a second E, or I can just E away.
The best thing you can do, if you can do this, is you sidestep it, and then you will hit your E, because like you E as she comes out of the riposte, you know?
Yeah, right, because she's stagnant.
But if you don't think you can sidestep it, you can also just E to dodge it, and that's
Okay.
fine. Your E, I'm pretty sure your E has a lower cooldown, right?
Yes, it
So
does.
then you're gonna get a window. What's the window?
I might even have
Your
two windows.
Your E has 13 seconds, so you're gonna have a
Yeah.
9-second window where you can go in on her. Yeah, I like longsword here. It's good. Definitely want to get 2 first in this matchup if you can.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to fight for minions. I'm not going to mess around in the river because I think it's even more important than it was against Renekton. But I mean, no, that's not true. Against Renekton, I should have been housing that guy at level 1.
Mm-hmm. Also, if you hit your Q, you should win at level 1.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to take a trade on her when she comes back through this bush. I can actually take this whole thing. We're going to be here.
Let's see if we can have a single game without something weird happening at level 1.
I love
That
level 1.
benefits you massively.
Yeah.
Is she not recalling?
Okay, I'm willing to stop her back here.
Yeah, she's so late on the base. Just don't lose your health, and what is going on?
I actually want to dismount here so I can remount, which is kind of crazy.
This is the weirdest game I've ever seen. What summoners is Fiora playing?
This. She's flash TP, so I kind of want to just stack the wave.
She might TP to lane here, or she might just.
She did.
Okay, yeah. So you're basically playing the TP into ignite thing, where you can use the TP back timing to because she doesn't have TP. So if you can ever trade her down, you can remember that you can force that, like you could against the Renekton.
I'm very happy right here.
Mm-hmm. Looks really good. I think you could, because you get move speed in your mini, I think you could have, like, when she queued in on you there, I think you could have just committed to the auto attacks.
Right, so I'm going to use this teleport trick now.
Yep.
And she's stuck in a horrendous wave state with no thing. So should I buy a control ward, or am I trying to save up money for the...
I normally don't buy control wards in top lane, and that's because most of what you need vision for, you can deduct. Like
infer,
infer. That's the you use deductive reasoning to figure it out. But yeah, you see how this is really difficult for her now. The main thing is you don't want to let her crash this wave. I think you might take too much damage if you just face tank it, but okay, that's good. So, like, she's probably terrified of Kindred right now.
I just missed 2 autos, canceled them twice. I'll try to give my guy a reason to come up top. So this was just, it looked like too many minions to want to do, and I kind of wish that I had held it.
I think what you did is fine. You just took too much damage from Fiora and the creeps.
Yeah.
To do it. But Kindred should just kill her here.
I want to give this to Kindred, actually. Okay, I'll just get that. The reason I skipped there, I can give Kindred the experience. Now, solo experience versus not a big deal, but I want to get this wave in fast. I'm looking to crash this and then reset again.
Yep. So what's the fastest way you can push this wave?
Using E.
Yeah, but you want to kill the caster creeps.
Oh, yeah.
Because your minions are going to be hitting the melee creeps. They're going to kill those for you, and then you can just last hit them. And while they're doing that, you can kill the casters and the cannon. And it's like the most efficient use of time.
Now there's not enough time to go and try to like skip. Could I just walk over her and skip the proxy?
No, you're not strong enough to proxy anyway. You've not got items yet. But just getting pickaxe here is the best thing you can do.
Now this is a game where plated steel caps is incredibly strong.
It's really good, this game, yeah.
Would you ever like stop the
I'd get
Hydra
it
build
after Hydra.
after Hydra? Okay.
Mhm.
So Ocean Star, who's in the chat, is a very accomplished Aurelia player who lives in the Aurelia circles, and he's heard of Eloise.
Nice. Yeah, Alois is really good.
I love this trade because even if I dismount here, I'm still good.
Yep.
And if she all-ins me, I've got exhaust. Now, I don't want to do the same thing earlier. I'm just going to let this rebound and then just accept the HP advantage.
Yeah, it's a little bit in the ebb and flow state. Like Fiora could recall here. I think that would be the best thing she could do. But if she doesn't do it, then I think you're winning. For exactly the reason you said, you can just remount, and it's a huge trade advantage for you.
Now, would you ever like go and grab the next wave to reset the aggro on it and try to
I would probably
punish it?
just slow push and crash, and then you're going to get 6 off of the 2 waves, so you could look to ult mid off of the crashed slow push. Or you could... You don't have TP, so you can't do the bot lane set play where you recall and TP top, but you can definitely like crash this wave and then look mid. Oriana is 6 as well with ultimate up, so she can drop the ball on you. So, yeah. Oh, I mean, you win this if she... Oh, Kane's there.
If I do what? If I play better, or
I think you just win without Kane there. But Kane turns up. Unfortunate. What were they doing? Did they do Herald? Was it up? Like, what did they do?
I think same thing as last time though. In that situation, I think I actually shot myself in the foot by casting my ultimate.
Yeah.
Now I don't have it. Now this will be good. This is like very nice for me because she's coming back. And she's low health and she's got no ultimate.
It's kind of like, you know, when people panic flash and they waste it and die anyway? It's a bit like that with the Kled ult.
Yeah. Well, I was using it twofold. One, I could either get away with it, or two, if she like dashed in front, then I could hit her with it. But I don't think I got the maximum out of that. And I definitely missed a window to...
I don't actually know what Fiora was doing. Like, she was just waiting with no health, I guess, for some reason. She has very low mana.
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
Don't think I got the best of this, but I can actually just match her recall. I'm just gonna match recalls. I think I need to kill a couple more minions though. I could just stay.
I think you could stay and crash the wave if she recalls.
You would want me to crash this instead of hold the freeze?
Either's fine.
Okay, there's her teleport again.
Ah, I didn't think she had TP. I think Cosmic Insight brought it up.
I didn't get any of the extra damage that I wanted there. I've got teleport, so I'm happy to teleport back here now.
Yeah, you're gonna TP here. What's the best use of gold? Probably Vamp Scepter. Could be Warhammer as well. Either's fine. Vamp Scepter spends more, and it gives you sustain, which is kind of nice. So this is going to start slow pushing again, so we can look to crash it and do something with ult.
Okay.
Mid's looking like he's...
I ended up just using the ult there, thinking that I had a better chance.
Nice. Nice. You win this.
This is
I think you could have E'd through her with the second E. Like,
yeah, I agree. I
because
missed my
then
chance to get it off.
she's not on the side of your vital then.
I was not looking for her to do that. That's okay.
It's all right.
That's I don't
We're
mind
about to
mistakes like
remap.
that
Oh,
when we're talking. Yeah. Yeah, I missed my E2 and she ended up making me dismount, so I never even got a chance to cast it. And so if I get that off, but those are things I don't mind making mistakes like that while we're discussing.
yeah, it's definitely difficult to focus fully when you're talking about things. That's why I normally I try not to talk so much during the live game, because it's hard to take
Yeah, it's
so
very,
much
very
in.
hard. That's why I wish Riot would actually give us a functioning practice tool as well, so we could actually practice. It's so hard to recreate. I'm of the full opinion that pro teams deserve chrono break, and Riot has decided the policy. I'm glad they took away the leveling restriction, because there's players that hate playing solo queue, and Riot made the leveling restriction to force them in. Like that's what the purpose of needing to be diamond was all about. And players like Licorice, I don't know if you follow NA, but
Yeah,
he would 100 times out of 100 missed. I don't think if I hit, I get my remount anyways. This is also she's just ahead.
yeah.
Would you sell refillable here to get plated steel caps?
Probably. We kind of need something to keep us in the game now. It's a bit looking a bit rough.
How about comparing fighting this to going and impacting another lane who actually has a chance of being in the game, right? Like at this point, even if I win this, we've got problems. Oh, it looks like she's going to int anyways.
You need to fight her.
Oh, she's not inting. Kindred didn't show. Kindred.
I think we just need to play to the game plan of crashing the waves and then roaming, rather than using the ult to fight her. But I mean, this one's good because you get a big shutdown.
Right, this one was free, obviously.
I think going on Kindred is really good as well.
Yes.
So
okay.
now,
so I'm going to proxy this wave.
Yeah, now we've got tempo again. So you can proxy. Yeah, you see Kane mid as well. So you can take this one. You can, when's Fiora up? 18 seconds. Yeah, you can proxy next. You can take a plate. And then probably recall, because if you do jungle camps, Fiora can kill you.
Okay. So you want me to recall here? Now try to well, I guess new plan. This is a fight I can easily clean up, so I'm going to go try to clean it up.
Yeah, that works too. If there's an opportunity, it's good.
It also lets me get a permanent deep ward here, and it can help us push this wave. This Kane is unkillable? Okay. All right. Nothing comes of it. I'm okay with that. Nothing coming of it is a win for us. Now, she's kind of stuck in this long wave.
Yep, your run timer is longer now because you don't have a tower. It takes her longer to crash your wave. They don't need any help pushing. I think it's kind of a waste of time. They were going to push that wave anyway, whether you're there or not. And now
I did the greedy option because I knew that it would get me Hydra as well. And I feel like I can get that time back.
Yeah, that's a good reason to do that. That is good.
Be nice if I could hit something. Strong is she really? Hey, I got her. Okay. Colossal misplay by her. The first time I've ever outplayed anybody.
Nice. All right, what are we going to do with the tempo?
Okay, good question. Help this fight for now. Okay. Stack a wave, crash a wave, recall, and then try to spend the lead somewhere else, since it's going to take her at least 2 waves worth of time to push this back into my lap.
Yeah, I think crash wave, recall, and maybe look to ult bot or look to ult mid, and then if you need to TP back, you can TP back, but otherwise you can just walk back.
My plan is to try to. Oh, whoops. My plan is to try to carry this fight while Fiora is split pushing.
I think you denied yourself a lot of time by cancelling your recall, though. Not even
I did
cancel
it
your
because
vote.
I was pinging. I have attack move, so I was clicking on something to show something, and then I clicked it, so it canceled my recall. So, definitely, again, just one of those things that happens during this sort of session that wouldn't happen in the game. I hope, but yeah, my plan is to try to carry this fight. I think I pinged Dragon, and that's what got my timer off. Okay, so I'm looking at Iron Spike Whip, Stride Breaker in most games. Could also go Death Dance because of how good it is this game.
I think you always want to get your mythic second.
Okay.
Stride Breaker's fine. Eclipse is good as well. Eclipse is good into Fiora. Stride Breaker's good into like Akshan, Milio, all these range champs. This is pretty good. Looks like it should work. Zoning ult.
Yeah. I didn't mind missing behind them, but I could have taken a better angle. But basically, I didn't want to. I didn't want to give them the avenue that would come backwards. But I'm happy with the outcome, 2 for 1, and we got Dragon. Fiora's can just be stuck in a weird spot. I definitely want to stop Kane's movements here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind using my passive. I think I'll get it back. Fiora's coming, which means I think we actually abort.
Yeah, you definitely don't fight any fight where she's there now. Now it's like what you were saying with the Renekton, you want to move the game away from her. You I'd just take mid tower here. Just start pinging mid tower and give them the dragon. Because if you fight, you're gonna die. 100%.
I was happy with letting her go that far into my team, but
oh, I think this is a really risky fight, but you might win it. And the enemy team, for some reason, are just not helping their Kane. Okay.
yeah, they're big carry. I think I might be further ahead than we were before.
So this mid tower is gonna. Oh wait, there's a Akshan in thing as well. This mid tower is gonna die regardless of if you're there or not. Right. So
Okay,
now
you go.
You go top.
All right, I don't want to help Akshan versus Ori.
No,
that was not
you
it's
go
Neela, not.
like if you think about the 3 lanes as 3 sets of resources, and you want your team to be collecting all of them.
Yeah.
As a general rule of thumb, after you've made a play with your team, you want to get back in the side lane and collect those resources that nobody's getting. And now that this wave crashes, you've got ult, you could look to do something again. Best thing you can do here is definitely move the Kindred and help her.
Yep.
And we're back into that style of get tempo, do something. Get tempo, do something.
Oh, Kindred ult, no. I want to remount right now. Milio, no, Milio swinging fights. That Kindred ult was really bad for us. Like really, really bad. That's okay.
So, there's one thing I have a problem with there. What do you think it is?
Let me see. With something I did that I didn't exhaust while I was dismounted.
Oh, there is that. I didn't even see that. It's not even about the fight. It's about the setup.
The setup. Okay, so I had just pushed top, code this. Fiora had already set this up.
Mm-hmm.
So I went for an all-in while the wave was...
No, that's fine.
No, that's not. Yeah, that
You
was
crashed
fine.
the wave and Kindred's doing Herald. What did you do once you crashed the wave?
I killed a pink ward rather than helping her right away.
Exactly. Like, does it matter if the pink ward's there, really?
Nope, not at all.
And that comes back to tempo. Like, you want to be playing on tempo.
I'm using this now to try to help peel. I should have used my animation while he was locked up in his. Try to pull him back. Using the R to set up the Q. And we'll get that. All right, so sorry, say that again.
Yeah, so you want to be playing on tempo. So.
Oh, the control word, right? Yeah, I remember.
Like taking the control word is a slight gain for a massive loss in tempo.
Yep, got you. Yeah, I put the Kindred. I actually thought of it. I looked and I was like, yeah, she's got this. But I wasn't playing against the fact that Kane might show up. If I had ult, I would teleport here.
I think with Fiora dead, you can just take the turret. And then you can... Oh, she has teleport, okay. I wasn't tracking that. It's kind of my fault for telling you to take the turret when I wasn't tracking TP.
No, that's okay. I knew it was past the limit. even with them with the teleport, I waited for the 4th auto on the passive rather than just getting out right away. I did not take into account that she was going to be getting Blade of the Rune King and being able to trigger that attack speed. Also, I don't have Stride Breaker, so she's like ridiculously far ahead.
Yeah, he's massively ahead. Definitely scary.
I'm thinking about teleporting down here. Oriana's going to pick up the wave, so I'm happy with this. And I'd like to make sure that
you need to answer this. Oh, Oriana's going to answer. Can she even hold it 1v1? I think you need to help Ori.
Okay.
Before making the play, you want to make sure that that your side lane is in a position where Ori altered nothing. It's not ideal. Oh, she got blue buff as well.
She's big. And I got the kill here. That's the ASO. That's going to be all of this. That's game.
Yeah. But again, I think the biggest mistake is the early game, and that will fix itself by just playing lots of games and understanding what you can and can't fight, and like learning the limits of Kled in all these different matchups.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't play Kled. I've never played Kled against Fiora. I've played Fiora against Kled, so I understand it that way. But
right,
I'd probably like not know exactly where the limits are as Kled into the Fiora. And it just comes with playing more games.
Okay, that's unfortunately one of my big downfalls is that I am a variety player, and I do it because I want to be able to cover all the bases and keep track of what matchups are like when cooldowns change and everything. But yeah, you're gonna if I'm coaching myself, I will have more than 26 games played on my second most when I have 80 champions played. But I'm on a mission to get 1,000 mastery this season.
I see. I mean, it's
Yeah,
good. It's good to learn lots of different champions. It's just I feel like each champion you're gonna need a good 25, 50 games on before you're like really comfortable with them.
Yeah, and
that,
even things change over time. Like that's one of the problems.
That's not even it's not something that I can coach. It's just like go and play, learn, practice, get better. I feel like the job of a coach isn't to make you better; it's to tell you how to make yourself better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so this is my list. I think I have 65 champions that are rank 7, and yeah, I take pride in this. But as far as climbing, if I were going to climb, I would actually play Teemo to Diamond, and I think I would be able to get there because Teemo, I understand the matchups, I understand where he's supposed to be, and I know the limits on the champion. So I'm happy, even though he's got limits as far as like what a kit can do, it plays to my strengths very much, which is understanding the map so I can get really effective shrooms down and kind of impact it. But as a like main competitive, I tend to be jungle main.
Okay.
I played Trundle to Diamond. I played Zyra to Diamond and Amumu and Karthus to 100 LP Platinum, Plat 1.
Definitely think it's good to learn from different perspectives, though. Like the Kale session yesterday was completely different to this one in like what I was teaching. So like, do you think you've got a better sort of insight on the Hydra top playstyle with the sort of tempo? I'd call it tempo roaming, I guess.
Yeah, and honestly, this is the one. That's the reason I picked Kled for today. It's because this is what I do worst: the fighting and trading, and like knowing these exact windows of the minutia of matchups and ebb and flow.
Mhm.
Because I'm variety and I play all roles. It changes, right? Your trading windows and patterns are different in mid because you can't really proxy mid, but you can impact other lanes. It's shorter distance everywhere. Um, Bot lane much more effective to get like big freezes in winning 2v2s. Like there's a huge gap in where to be, and also like where a carry wants to be versus a fighter. So I'm very happy with everything. I love all the insights that you gave. Is there a question that I haven't asked that I should have?
Uh, that's a great question. I was going to ask you if I was basically going to ask you the same thing. If you have any questions for me, I
Yeah,
don't.
it's
No.
well, I get my question for you is what um so you're giving away some amount of free lessons. Are there more, or are you at your limit?
No, there's more. I'm just booked up for quite a while.
Okay. What do you see success as a coach looking like in a year from now?
For me as the coach.
Yeah.
Um,
Or are you just trying to get like content for that could be success if you
I
say like I
think
get followers on
success for
YouTube.
me would probably be if the majority of the people that I coach are interested in more sessions, like after they've. I don't think more sessions within a short time period is good. I think you need time to go away and practice. But if they're like, if I do a session with someone and they go away and they improve at what was coached and they climb and then they come back, that like then they've climbed a bit and they want to come back and learn more, then I would consider that success. If the majority of clients want to do that.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that. All right, so the question that I should have asked, I guess I'll try to think of one. We did a pretty good job of talking about both roles. Like, if I was the Renekton, what would I do? If I were the KO, what would I do? So I'm happy with those. Everything that you said makes complete sense and it resonates. So it'll be a matter of rehearsing and practicing fighting for those timers. Fighting for wave number 7, fighting for minion number 7, fighting for. Actually, I shouldn't even say minion 7 anymore because you did enlighten me. It's fourth melee minion that I need to fight for more than anything.
Yeah, even if you've only killed 2 range creeps, the fourth melee minion will still give you level 2.
Yeah. Okay. I'm guess I'm gonna open up to chat if there's anything that anyone wants to ask you. Um, let's see if your variety general improvement. Okay. No, mostly. I don't know if I can turn that into a question. As far as the Alois resource, so you said he's best at the Hydra rush proxy.
I think he
And
is probably the best at that. Yeah.
okay, okay. Is there a specific video that I should start on? I guess that's
Um, I don't know. I think in most of his Riven games he plays like this.
okay.
But he's extremely good at explaining fundamentals, particularly for this playstyle that Riven and Kled play. He plays some Jace, which is slightly different, but he plays like Riven, Kled, not Kled, he doesn't play Kled, but Kled has the same playstyle as
Yeah.
Riven.
I
He
think you
plays
mentioned like
Fiora, which
Fiora.
has the
Yeah.
same playstyle.
My
He
one
does
my
he
one
does the same thing without Hydra, but he does it on Garen. He just uses the Garen E instead of the Hydra.
makes sense. Yeah, that's a natural advantage. My one concern about this is Riven. So actually, I was showing off the mastery. I think Riven is number 160 out of 160. Oh, there we go, 159 out of 160.
Oh wow.
Uh, Super highly mechanical champion with a very specific subset of skills to rehearse is the reason why I leave her down here. Because and Aatrox by proxy, right? These
Yeah.
champions are very very similar. Um,
Mine is literally the opposite. I have a number one with over 1,000,000 points.
yeah,
And then
the
my last is
my
Milio. I've never played him.
never played him. Yeah,
Nope.
it's he's going to get a few rounds of nerfs, so the rehearsal time won't matter. He's going to be an interesting thing, but they're trying to outreach into more regions, so I expect the new champions to be strong for a really long time.
Yeah, probably.
Um, Okay. Is there, I guess my last question will be things that are gleanable from Riven that might not apply because of what Riven does? Is there like a critical eye to have? No, never mind. Don't answer
Uh,
that. It's way too dynamic.
no, I think I have a good answer. Like, if you're playing this Hydra playstyle, then whether you're playing Riven and learning Riven mechanics or playing Fiora and learning Fiora combos, it does like the overarching way that you play the game, the strategy, the mindset, the plan of how you're going to expand your lead remains the same. But it is completely different to playing something like GP or Kale or Nasus. Like it's a completely different playstyle. So
Right.
if you're playing this Hydra playstyle, this can apply to any champion. Like the tempo roaming, you can do it with Garen, you can do it with pretty much anything that can push waves really easily. Um, but yeah, it's not unique to Riven, it's unique to this playstyle.
So you know what? I can kind of do this. If I sort this by fighter,
Mm-hmm.
and basically all of these fighter champions that specifically scale with AD and are very good, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Like I don't know, battlers. Like they need the gold advantage. They want the gold advantage. They want to play for 1v1s. So this Hydra strategy is most applicable kind of unilaterally to them. Is
Yeah,
that
like
fair
Olaf
enough?
does it. Who else does it? Renekton can do it. He doesn't really need Hydra either because he's got his Q and the whip.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, all of these guys have that in common. Like they have an ability to solo push
yeah,
and then move
and
along.
some sort of ability to do something on a roam or ease of killing jungle camps.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the selfish play style is definitely my. I don't want to say selfish like it's a negative connotation, but playing towards my own strength
Mm-hmm.
is my biggest weakness. So this was a very good informative session, and thank you very much, man. This was
Yeah,
great.
thanks for coming. It's been really good. I'll drop a link to your channel in the description. So if anyone wants to hop over, you can just click the link. Yeah, thank you
All
very
right, same
much.
same thing. Yeah, my pleasure. This was great. All right, thanks, dude.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Bye. Everyone that I've coached has been so nice so far.